Hello, my name's Danielle, and welcome to another episode of Tabifolk Talks. I'm joined tonight by Amy. She is the mom of Elijah, and they have created Elijah's Baby Bucket List, which is a blog, and there's so much more to it that we'll get to. But first, I'll just give a visual descriptor of myself, and then we'll get into it. My name's Danielle, and I'm a white woman wearing a navy shirt, and I have brown hair. And then, Amy, I'll just have you give a descriptor if you don't mind.
I am Amy. I'm a 46-year-old Caucasian woman with shoulder-length brown hair, wearing a black shirt and a white blazer.
Okay, great. Thank you. And so we're on two different screens, and behind us is a lime green and white background with a phone showing the Tabifolk app. And speaking of that, the tabifolk.com and the app, which is available in app stores, is all about accessible travel. So if you want to share resources, information, or just talk travel with like-minded people, make sure to sign up for a profile on tabifolk.com. Okay, so now we will start talking with Amy. So if you don't mind, Amy, just telling us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Amy Tarpein. I'm a solo mom with a passion for adventure and storytelling. My journey began with a desire to create meaningful experiences for my kids, especially with my son Elijah, who has less-than-encephaly, an extremely rare and terminal brain malformation. This path led me to become a best-selling author of Braver Together, a public speaker, and dedicated advocate for accessible and inclusive family travel. Through Elijah's Baby Bucket List, I aim to inspire other families to embrace joy, like the joys of travel, and make memories regardless of the challenges they face. I also hope to make it easier for them to do so. Our story is about finding joy and gratitude in every moment, and I love sharing these experiences with our growing community.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you so much. And as we continue this conversation, if you're watching live, feel free to leave any comments and we'll get to them before or after. And if you're catching this after on our YouTube or LinkedIn or Facebook page, we can pass on any messages to Amy and answer them on tabifolk.com. So, how about you tell us a little bit about Elijah?
I could go on forever, but I'll try and keep it short. Elijah is, I would think he's best described as the essence of pure joy and unconditional love. As the youngest of 10 siblings, he was diagnosed, like I said earlier, with a rare terminal brain condition called less-than-encephaly when he was just 8 months old. And the doctor said that he wouldn't reach his second birthday. In response, I put my kids in the car and we set off on a 13-hour road trip from Illinois to Florida, and we saw the ocean for the first time. And while standing in front of the ocean, we made a promise to Elijah to show him as much as the world as we could with the time that he had. Through that journey, he has taught me so much. I discovered the true essence of resilience and the incredible strength of love. And oh my goodness, I discovered a resilience even about myself that I never knew existed, along with unwavering hope that guided us through the darkest days, and kindness from both friends and strangers that served as a warm reminder that we're not alone on this journey. Every moment with Elijah is a testament to the incredible strength and spirit that this tiny boy possesses. Despite the challenges that he faces, his laughter and curiosity are infectious. He spreads joy to everyone around him. His presence in our life has taught us to appreciate the small things, to find beauty in every day, and cherish even moments like the small moments we have together. Elijah's Baby Bucket List, we started to show him things that he should see, but it's not just about visiting new places. It's about creating memories and embracing life's wonders and connecting with community that understands the journey that we're on. Elijah inspires us daily to live with gratitude and approach each day with a heart full of love and adventure.
Yeah, that's an awesome summary of him. And I know, like you said, you could go on forever, but you captured a lot. And I think even, when I check out your content, and you're so great about sharing so much, the first thing that I remember is his laugh. That's the thing I took away the most from your content because it's so consistent. So when you described him as being like the essence of joy, I'm like, yeah, I got that right away, when following you. So it's really amazing. And it's I've really been enjoying checking out your content featuring Elijah and your family. So speaking of your family, I know you have other kids who travel along with you, you and Elijah. So how do you balance everyone's interests with the need for accessibility when you're thinking about your next adventure?
Yeah. So there's a lot of them. So balancing everyone's interests while still like ensuring accessibility can definitely be a challenge. But with like thoughtful planning and open communication, it becomes like a rewarding journey for the whole family. We start by involving everyone in the planning process. So we have each family member a chance to share like their must-see destinations or activities. This way, everyone feels heard and included. So then I start researching the destinations thoroughly to ensure that they offer accessible options for Elijah. Unfortunately, many of these places don't provide detailed information about accessibility, making it a little harder to plan. We also look for activities that can be enjoyed by everyone, but we want to do things that other peers do, like the time we all spent the day riding a mountain roller coaster in Pigeon Forge. Elijah loves roller coasters. You wouldn't know it by looking at him. He's a roller coaster guy. A lot of families like ours just end up visiting like parks and museums and going on nature walks because there just isn't enough information out there. Like finding places that Elijah can be like actually involved and included with his siblings and peers is really important to us. And then like flexibility is key. So we remain adaptable and ready to switch plans if we need to accommodate Elijah's needs or the interests of the other kids. On our travels, I encourage each one of the kids to embrace the spirit of adventure and exploration, which usually leads to discovering new interests and new joys and more trips. The collective like experience not only strengthens our family bond, but also teaches the valuable lesson about empathy and understanding, not just for the kids, but the people we meet along the way, and like the millions of people all over the world who've joined us on our adventure.
Yeah, that's awesome. And how you highlight adaptability. I think, anyone who is disabled themselves or a companion for a disabled traveler knows that you have to be adaptable. Is not really, a choice. So it's like the more you lean into it, the better.
Yeah,
And then you kind of realize that it's a really powerful skill set that
yeah,
you may not have wanted to develop, but you
yeah,
end up using it more in your day-to-day life. And it does create resiliency and creative thinking, and so when you say there's not a lot of information out there, it's thanks to people like you, like providing more information that makes the world feel more accessible. So it's a great thing that you're doing, and like so many people benefit, and it's great when you interact with people who may not have thought about the need for like accessibility and travel and just like everyday locations, like people who just go about their day without having to adapt or
yeah.
think about having to adapt. So that's kind of how change happens, or we hope that it will. um so it was great talking to you in November because I recently saw the other day that November is National Family Caregivers Month. So that was great timing. We didn't even plan it that way. But tell us a little bit about the Caregiving Moms Refresh Retreat.
So I have teamed up with Sandy Gilbert from My Sandy Trail, and we are offering a mom's retreat for moms with kids with disabilities, and that is in May in Panama City Beach. And it is a few days for moms to get away and enjoy some time on the beach. We have some speakers and a comedian and yoga. And I mean, here's a full disclaimer, I'm not doing yoga, but I will join you on the beach. I'm not.
But oh, that sounds awesome. Yeah, I know, because it's like sometimes when I'll see like yoga on a cruise, will be like 8 a.m. and I'm like, really? Like
You can have coffee while everybody else does yoga. If you're a mom and you're not a yoga mom, like I'm a coffee mom. So
yeah, so there's something for everyone. That's
yeah,
good.
yeah,
That's
there is
great.
something for everyone.
Yeah, and the beach, in Florida, you can't go wrong. So that's awesome. So where can people find more information about that?
So we have a link at Elijah's Baby Bucket List, and I can share more of that later. So if you go on there, you can find it on there. It's just this Caregiving Moms Refresh Retreat, and it has all the sign-up information on there.
Okay, perfect. And while we're kind of like talking about, your website and things like that, would you like to tell us a little bit more about your other offerings? As far as like, don't you partner with like other places like to
Yeah.
travel and things like that?
So we partner with anybody who wants to. If you would like us to come check your place out and see how accessible it is, I'm your girl. Like, we will come and we'll let you know. And there, we've partnered with a lot of places. We've partnered with Hilton Hotels, and just recently we got to partner with Visit Wichita to see some incredible things. And just being able to let some of those places know after we come out, like, okay, well, maybe you could raise this or lower this, and how they can make things more inclusive. Because, like, if you know, because something is ADA accessible does not mean it is accessible for everybody. There's still a gap, and helping people learn what we need to do to fill in the gap so that kids like Elijah can truly be included, like right up next to his siblings doing whatever they're doing.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, sorry if I worded that in a tricky way, because you do so much that that I just wanted to highlight that for anyone who's watching who may want to partner with you. Because yeah, that's awesome. Like, because you only really know how accessible a place is by like polling people with all different kinds of disabilities, because
Yeah.
disability accessibility means something different to everyone. And but through that process you can really make something really accessible with that information that will benefit most,
Yeah.
if not everyone. So that's great. So do you want to, I know you just like mentioned a few places that you have partnered with, but even places that you've just gone along this adventure, like what are some highlights?
Our travels have led us to some truly breathtaking places, honestly. But for me, the highlight is witnessing my mini humans, which is what I call my kids. Witnessing their faces light up at the sight of new and exciting places has honestly been most of the unforgettable highlights of our adventures. Each destination like brings its own unique joys, whether it's like the thrill of a mountain coaster ride, or the serene beauty of the Grand Canyon, or meeting new friends. We've also been deeply moved by like the unexpected kindness of strangers who often like go out of their way to ensure that our travels are smooth and enjoyable. And being able to like consult with some of the destinations to see where they can improve accessibility and inclusivity. These moments of like genuine human connection, like those highlight like the beauty and the diversity, and remind me of like the shared humanity that binds us all together. Like, being able to have a voice in this space is really important. I mean, it's these experiences like filled with joy and laughter and love that make our journey rewarding and memorable.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love to hear that. Pigeon Forge is on my list. So did you stay there, like do multiple things there,
We spent a
or
week there. Yeah, it's
oh wow.
incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. Did
Yeah.
you do like I'm just curious, like, so do you mind like going a little bit
Oh no,
more
yeah,
into
no.
what you did there? Because this is actually just for me, because but
This
I'm
is
hoping people benefit.
so
Yeah.
mellow mushroom, like you absolutely need pizza from there. So we did. We actually partnered with them, and we got to do the mountain coaster. Rocky Top Mountain Coaster is a roller coaster run. We spent the entire day there, and my kids would have spent the entire 7 days there riding roller coasters. They truly enjoyed that. We got to do a snow tubing. We got to do. They have a magic quest where you go in and it's like a whole video game inside of a building. But there's just so much to do there. Like, you cannot do even a fraction of it in a week.
Wow, that's really interesting, because you never. I don't know if you went to Dollywood when you were there, but isn't that right in that area too?
It is. We did not, but it is on our list. We would love to go there someday.
Okay, great. Yeah, because that's interesting that there's so much to do, and that's kind of like the big tour aside from like the Rocky Mountains and all that, those are like the big name things. So it's interesting how there's so much. It's like almost sounds like a hidden gem.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely want to. But thank you for those recommendations. I'll definitely add them to my list since I've never been there.
Yeah.
So I hate to segue from all this great positivity. But is there anything that you wouldn't do again, or there was particular accessibility issues that you visited, or?
So embarking on like numerous adventures has certainly taught me valuable lessons. And there's a few experiences that I would not repeat. One stands out, and that is navigating the bustling streets of downtown Atlanta during rush hour traffic. That is definitely a logistical challenge that I learned to avoid in the future. And I would take LA traffic in a van full of mini humans over Atlanta any day.
Wow, wow,
I
that's
learned that
interesting.
very, very early on. We spent 8 hours in Atlanta once. There was a food truck in traffic, and it was traumatic.
Wow.
So,
Wow, that's really interesting because and that over LA, wow, that's really surprising
yeah,
because it's
yeah,
but I did learn recently that Atlanta has like the world's busiest airport, which was really surprising to me. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I'm sure that could be a factor.
maybe.
But
There's,
yeah, it was particularly the traffic was memorable that day and not in a good
yeah.
way.
But I mean, we've faced our fair share of challenges, and each one has taught me something invaluable. Like they've prompted me to rethink our approach to travel, like ensuring like the accessibility and the inclusivity and like the enjoyment remain at the forefront of our adventures. We also have encountered destinations that, despite their charm, lack the accessibility features that they promised, leading to like frustrating moments. But that then also offered the opportunity for them to have like conversations with us and figure out like how to fill those gaps and what truly was accessible and inclusive. Like these experiences have underscored the importance of like thorough research and planning and ensuring a smooth journey for Elijah and the rest of the family. Like each setback kind of served as like opportunity to adapt and better prepare for our next adventure, like reinforcing our commitment to making like travel inclusive and enjoyable for everyone.
Yeah, that's awesome, and that's kinda similar to what I say, like, when I travel, like, "Okay, I learned this next time, so I'll apply it next time," and then I'm like, "The next time it's gonna be everything's gonna be," and then I still am like, "Okay, next time I'll do it like this." Like, even last time I traveled, I won't go into it, but I did miss a flight for the first time in my life, and I was like, "Well, at least I got it out of my system," because I'm like and then I was within train distance to, my location, so it was all good, but I'm like, yeah, you have to learn through experiences. You can plan everything out and then it doesn't always work out like it will on paper. And sometimes that's for the better. But for accessibility wise, unfortunately, like the statistics are so high where, like for hotels, we'll see something and like it will say having XYZ feature. And then when you show up, statistically, I've seen studies that say like 50% of the time it may not even be accurate to what it says online or what the hotel advertises. So yeah, that's definitely a tricky thing that where the impetus is more on like the industry to better itself because we can do all the research we want, but if there's false information out there, it's just really unfortunate to put it lightly.
Yeah,
Um, but to segue back into something positive, you wrote a book, Braver Together, I believe is the name, right?
I did it. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. So, could you tell us a bit about one, what prompted you to write a book, and maybe your process for getting it done for some of those people out there that are maybe thinking about writing a book?
So writing Braver Together was like an important step for me. The motivation came from a desire to share our family's story in a way that could inspire and offer hope to other people facing like all of life's challenges. I believe that some things in life can't be fixed; they can only be carried, and I believe that people show up and help us carry those things. Um, I wanted to create a sense of camaraderie and community, kind of letting others know like they're not alone on their journey. I am a hot mess, and if I can do this, so can you. The process kind of began as something completely different. I was writing on social media, and people kept encouraging me to write a book. And then I began to like organize our experiences into what it is now, taking the time to reflect on like the emotional nuances of each chapter. That involved revisiting both the joyful and the challenging moments of our travels, kind of weaving them together into a story that resonated with like authenticity and love. Through the writing process, I was so supported by incredible friends and the encouragement of our growing global community, which made it all possible. They reminded me of the importance of sharing our journey, not just for ourselves, but for the countless others who might like benefit from your experience. I mean, writing the book was a labor of love. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to connect with readers who find strength and inspiration in our story, because I believe we truly are braver together.
That's awesome, and I'm sure, it will, like, empower many people to see, someone's out there, traveling and, even with kids, with no accessibility considerations, that could be a daunting task for people. So I think, that's such a great thing you did writing the book, and I'm sure it's a not only a great resource, but just a great story, for many people. So I definitely recommend for people to check that out. So you say how it started kind of with your process of posting on social media, and you do have a really big following on social media. So I was kind of curious about because I do create content too, but I've only kind of been doing it for a little over a year, and so I'm more like in a foundational phase. So I'm kind of curious as you've grown, like what are some of the pros and cons of being a creator on social media?
Being a social media creator offers a platform really to connect with like a diverse global community. It allows me to share our family's journey, advocate for the inclusivity in ways that can inspire and support other people. Um, the positive interactions and encouragement from our followers are immensely rewarding, as they remind me like the impact of that our story can have. Some have become like family to us, honestly. Um, it's heartwarming to know that by sharing our experience, we can provide hope and camaraderie to families facing similar challenges. Like we also have the opportunity to help organizations and destinations look at what they have and where things can be improved and promote experiences that include everyone. However, the challenges to navigate, probably one of the main cons is finding the right balance between sharing our lives and maintaining our family's privacy. Um, it's essential to protect our personal space while still being open and authentic with our audience. Additionally, the pressure to consistently create and share content can be a little demanding. That requires probably careful time management and self-care to prevent like burnout, I would say. And despite those challenges, like the opportunity to foster like a supportive community and promote positive change makes like the experience incredibly fulfilling.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for sharing. And a lot of what you said echoes, what I say when people ask me as well. I personally feel as well that the benefits outweigh the cons, but there is kind of that, okay, what do I post now? Like, it's like, oh, am I ever going to think of a new idea again? Like, I started this and, but yeah, but you just kind of, I think like taking the pressure off and just knowing, how you create best and all of that. Works well. And you've definitely been doing something right. Because yeah, you have a great community there. And I'm sure Elijah's cuteness and laugh
Yeah.
helps bring in people as well.
Yeah.
So we have to give him some credit too, for bringing in the followers.
I always say to know him is to love him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I'm like, I might get more followers if I was that cute, but I'm like, so I'm like, yeah, you can't, create that, it's just an essence that he has. It's really wonderful. So speaking of Elijah, what are some upcoming plans that you have for his list?
Um, we're I guess we're kind of looking to, document our ventures in creative ways. Maybe we're looking at like video storytelling, which I don't know if I'm a huge fan of that because we don't go live a lot. I have a 12-year-old son, and that should tell you everything you need to know about that. He's a regular 12-year-old boy. So we also hope to like create like a comprehensive guide that highlights like accessible travel destinations, offering like tips and insights from like our own experience by sharing our journey. Um, we're considering organizing meetups, events with families so they can connect and share their stories and support each other, kind of like Elijah's baby bucket list group trip or something. The community aspect is something we're really passionate about. It provides a platform for camaraderie and exchange of like valuable information. Also, like we're braver together. So some families that might not travel on their own might be more likely to join us. And we kind of want to continue inspiring others to embrace the joys of travel and build like a supportive network that celebrates like inclusivity and sharing like the shared experience, whether it's like that the iconic landmarks of Paris or like diverse landscapes in California. Like there's a vibrant culture. And we believe that every destination offers like unique opportunities for connection and diversity. One of our goals is also to collaborate with other families and organizations to create resources to make travel more inclusive for everyone.
Yeah, that's awesome. That sounds like, a lot of plans and things to work on. So it sounds like it'll be a busy 2025, but it sounds like, that caregiving moms retreat will be a good like springboard to learn about potential future, group trips and things like that. So that will be great. One more question. Is there any like place you have on like a wish list or things like that you kind of dream about going to, or you're just open to anywhere?
Uh, well, we kind of promised to show Elijah the world. They said he wouldn't live to be 2, and he'll turn 7 in January. So there are countless places still that capture our imagination and call to us with like the promise of adventure and discovery. We're planning on exploring new destinations. With like adventure and accessibility in mind. Right now, we're working on all 50 states because we don't have our passports yet. But as soon as we have our passports, Paris is at the top of the list. Elijah's sister Avea started her own website to be able to take him to Paris to drink lemonade. She started that when she was 9. And so we've got to take him to Paris at some point. we just
Wow, yeah, that's awesome. I love that. That's such like an iconic place as well. So I love that his sister started that, and
they
that
love
she.
art. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, so that's great, and that's something awesome to look forward to. But I love the states idea as well. That's great. I have a passport, I just don't have any stamps on it. So I'm like, I got it when I went on a cruise because I'm like, I just want to have it, so I don't get stuck. But yeah, I know I need to add some stamps myself, and so Paris is definitely on my list as well.
They just added Japan to their list.
Oh,
They can't wait
wow.
to go to Japan, and also they want to go to New Zealand, and like there's a big list. There's a zip line in New Zealand that Isaiah wants to ride. So
Oh, wow. Okay, nowhere close.
no.
Yeah. But yeah, well, speaking of Japan, the founder of Tabifolk.com lives in Japan. And so he was our first episode, if anyone's listening to this, and is more curious about Japan and its accessibility because he runs Accessible Japan. So he has a lot of facts. We did talk about Japan a lot in the first episode, but I'm like, we just need to have a whole. We also talked about his journey as like an entrepreneur and things like that. So I was like, we just need like a whole Japan episode because I feel like it's a place that so many people are intrigued by, because as we discussed, as I discussed with Josh, the accessibility like infrastructure wise is pretty good. So it's definitely like an intriguing place as well, like culture wise. A lot you see a lot of pop culture, things there. So yeah, so that's definitely an interesting place as well. So another great one to add to the list. So I love that the list is flourishing and growing. That's awesome. So I definitely encourage everyone to follow along on social media. Elijah's baby bucket list. I know I am, and I've been really enjoying it. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them, and we'll pass them along to Amy and have her answer them. But before we go, Amy, is there anything you would like to say before we end the episode?
Um, I guess looking ahead, like my hopes for Elijah's list are boundless. The dream of inspiring even more families to go out on their own adventures and explore destinations that promise both excitement and accessibility. I mean, there's just so many places still waiting for us and for everybody. I know that like each new location will find the opportunity for growth and discovery. Just, I mean, he has taught me to live for today and go do it now. Like,
Yeah.
don't wait, travel.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That's awesome. So I love that motto that you have, and I am looking forward to continuing to follow along. So thank you so much for joining us on this episode. And yeah, I've really enjoyed talking with you. So thanks so much to
Thank
everyone
you.
listening, and I hope everyone has a nice rest of the night.